Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. Our predicted lineup for Aston Villa v AZ Alkmaar in the Europa Conference League. So as this European game edges closer, I'm getting more and more excited for it because, like we said in the match preview yesterday, we're at the business end of it now. This is where it sort of matters to be getting out the group, and competition starts to get a little bit more serious when you're out the group as well. It starts to become a little bit more like you can see the trophy in the distance getting closer. So yeah, I'm really excited, and getting out the group stage is going to be, it's really difficult anyway, isn't it? Because you have to play a vast amount of games, but you also have to maintain your league form and status. And for me, all season, that has been the most important thing this season, to achieve success in the league, achieve Europe in the league. And so far, we're at the halfway stage. We are doing slightly better than I expected. I wanted us to be in and around 6th, so we're currently 5th. So we're doing really, really well. And the results at the weekend, sort of, we lost, but they went in our favour, didn't they? So, we're still there, and we've got a big game on Sunday, which is going to be, really good at Villa Park against Fulham. So we'll turn our attention to Alkmaar at home then. And, we had the news yesterday that the rumours of V Sports going in for Rail Union, the club that Unai is majority stakeholder in, and NSWE looking to back that and have our global entity moving to Spain. And it really got me thinking yesterday about Unai and about Villa, and about where we're going, and how important stability is. And I was thinking about it quite a lot yesterday because of the news, and I was just thinking about Unai and the future of Villa, and where we go, because we are into Unai's second season now, which is, for any manager in the Premier League, no matter how elite they are, no matter how good they are, to go into a second season, because we know what the Premier League's like. It's results driven, and it's brutal, isn't it? That we've seen top managers come in and fail, and Unai's in his second year now, and it sort of got me thinking about how comfortable I, as a fan, now feel, and all of this V Sports, and how Unai is completely backed. It makes me feel really confident for the future, and it makes me look forward to the future with ease, really. That the fact that Unai's kind of is under pressure, every manager's under pressure, but we've backed this manager now. We've backed him so much to sort of say, go and do your thing, and the club's in a real comfortable place. And I think you look at a lot of Premier League clubs, they're not in comfortable places at all, are they? You'd look at Man City and think they are. You'd look at Newcastle and I'd say they are. And they're the only ones really that I think at the minute I'd say are really comfortable. All of the others have different permutations. Like Liverpool have got a big season because they need to get back in top 4. Klopp had a bit of noise in the summer. United, Brighton, like De Zerbi, what they've got going on off field's comfortable. But with De Zerbi, he's probably going to move on. Chelsea, Spurs are starting to get there as well. Maybe put Spurs into that bracket. But, the vision of where Villa are going, the ability that we can forward think now. We can think for the future because we know we're in a real good state. So I just think we're in a real good place. And it just got me thinking yesterday of, how good of a position we are to be going into January, to going into next summer, to keep building and building. And I've said all season that Villa are far from the finished article. We are far from Unai would look at that team, and Unai's not looking at that team thinking, we're the real deal now. We are real deal. He's far from that finished team that he wants. And I think it highlights the fact that the great job that he's doing and the players that we've got are doing a real good job. But we're going to get better and better and better. And that's what got me thinking. Yesterday, I went to watch Stuart Broad, and he was talking about his new book, and he was talking about the Ashes, and he was talking about like Baz Ball. And he was talking about like how he got late into his career and this Baz Ball came in and how his mindset changed on the way that Brendan McCullum was telling him to sort of like go out and bowl, go out and bat, go and be sort of like the night hawk and not the night watchman. And I think that sort of mentality switch is so important in sport, and positivity is so important in sport. And I just saw a little similarity of like Unai does things a bit differently, but you have to believe in what he's saying, and then the success will come. So it was a real good night with Stuart Broad, to be fair. Really, really enjoyed it. But, you know, that sort of leadership is really important, and that was just what I took away from it, really. So let's get into the predicted lineup then. So I really want to take you back to the Alkmaar game, first of all. So just going to share the screen with you. And I'm going to share the screen with the lineup that we went in Alkmaar, because I think this is quite important to look at in this game, because it's the return leg. We did some things really, really well. And I imagine it's going to be Villa, a lot of the ball. I'm not really sure what Alkmaar are going to do, because like I said in the preview, that they tried a lot of things against us and a lot of variations in that game. They tried to press us. That didn't work. They tried to sit off us. That didn't work. They switched their formation a little bit, and it really didn't work. And for a game where Alkmaar have got to come to Villa Park and win, they're in must-win territory now. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Do they sit with a low block and try and defend? And I just don't see that working. So I imagine that they're going to come and have a go. So I think that's important to note on their front. So this was our lineup that we went with, and you can see it was different, because what we were used to is Diaby and a pacey winger out wide, maybe. But the use of Youri Tielemans, and I think this was a really important one, because we know that we've had Youri Tielemans sort of in that we've tried him in the double pivot, we've tried him in and around there, it hasn't quite worked, has it? So we adopted him further forward. So I'm just going to head over now to our website. So this is where you can get a little bit of extra content. You can read articles. You can read match previews. We've got opposition pieces on here as well. So there's a lot of work that goes into this website. So sort of goes under the radar, really, because I guess you don't see if you've not seen it. So you can head over there. And then you've got the social hub section, where there's all of our interactive stuff. You've got your player ratings, your score prediction league, and predicted lineup. So we'll head over to the predicted lineup. And I just really want to highlight the role of Tielemans in this game, because it was a little bit different from what we had seen before. So Tielemans' role, in essence, was to make up a midfield three, which is something that he's used to. And it's a position where that's what he played at Leicester. He was in a midfield three. In a two, it doesn't really suit him. And that's sort of no disrespect to Tielemans. That's just how you get the best out of Youri Tielemans. So if we head over to the average positions in this game, I actually felt like he was in a really advanced position all game. You know, he was pressing from the front. I felt like he was further up than what the average positions would show. But the average positions highlight the role where he made up that midfield three. So he was in a trio with Dougie, Tielemans, and Kamara. Bailey was the player that was playing out wide. So in essence, he made up this midfield four. And I think it was really, really good from Emery. And this just showcases the subtle tweaks that like what we mentioned on the debrief, one player moving out with a different player can mean that the system looks a little bit differently. So with that in mind, I'm kind of thinking we might go for something similar to this in the match against the return match against Alkmaar. So I'm going to predict my team now, and there's a few players that for me I really want to see play. So we'll go with the ones that I'll really want to pick first, and then we'll see how the lineup goes. So you can go and do your teams on social media, or you can just comment your thoughts down below. So big game. Martinez has to stay in goal, and he'll want to make up for the mistake that he made against Forest. We are edging towards January as well. So we are sort of at the start of November, getting towards mid-November. And I imagine, not sure what we're going to do in Jan, business-wise, but I think it's highlighted for me 2 areas that I think we could really strengthen in Jan. And whether it's Jan or summer, I think we need a backup keeper 100% now. And I think this striker area is somewhere that we really need to have a little bit of a look at as well. But I'm going to go with Longley, and I'm going to go with Diego Carlos. That's literally like such a good backup defense. It's unbelievable. Really impressed with Longley, and Carlos as well. Great stuff. And you know, I think they just come in and do a solid job. Right back, we've got a little bit of is Cash injured? Is he precautionary? Does he have a bit of a break? Hard to tell, isn't it? But I think what we'll go with is, if Cash is fit, Cash plays. If Cash isn't fit, Konsa plays. So I think that's what we'll see in that area. If it's Cash fit, then fine. If not, it'll be Konsa. But what do we go with? What do we go with? We'll go with Konsa as a precaution. And then we'll go with Luca Dean on that left-hand side. Big news, Moreno was on the bench against Forest. I would imagine Moreno will come on in this game and get, what will he get? 20 minutes maybe, 25 minutes. If he gets that, perfect, great build-up, being the matchday squad against Fulham. And then like what we saw last season, the like-for-like change at 60 minutes. You know, we were seeing that constantly last season. So we'll start hopefully building up to that, where one of them will get 60, the other gets 30, vice versa. So that defence looks pretty solid to me. What you'll see with that is Luca Dean will be offering most of the width. If it is Cash that plays, then you'll see him in that area, and then you'll see this player coming in and screening in that area as well. But I'm being a bit precautionary with Cash, so we'll go with that. Then we're going to go with Kamara in the double pivot. I think Kamara has to play for me. This is a big game. We've got to win, and I just don't want us to mess about. Just get the goals, get ahead, and then we can go from there. And then I'm going to go with Luiz as well. Brilliant to see him get his Brazilian call-up. Long overdue, and he deserves to be in that squad. He's one of the best central midfielders in the Premier League at the minute, so he deserves to play. We are then going to go with Leon Bailey out wide. So Bailey is going to be playing out wide, and then we are going to go as well with John McGinn going to be captaining the side. So we're going pretty full strength, really, from the side that played on Sunday, apart from 2 of the centre-backs. So in this, you'll get Pau getting a bit of a break as well. And then my front 2 is going to be same as the return game. We are going to go, why can't I find Tielemans? We'll go Bailey there, and then we'll find Tielemans in this one. We'll go Tielemans there, so swap them round. So Tielemans is going to go there, and then we are going to lead the line with Ollie Watkins. If Traore is back, then he'll get some minutes. So that'll be good. And then what we will see is we'll see Tielemans dropping into there, Bailey moving into there, and then we've got Tielemans occupying this space here, making this little 3 in the middle, and then we're a little bit more asymmetric so it can look similar to that. So that was basically the average positions from the game against Alkmaar in the return leg, and then we'll see him pressing from the front as well. So it's going to look something similar to that. So that's going to be my team. Really excited for the game. I think Villa in Europe, you can't beat it. It's fantastic. And I'm absolutely buzzing. My brother lives in France, and he's coming over for the Legia Warsaw game. So we're going to be sitting together in the Holt End. So absolutely buzzing for that. So we've got fan cams that are going to be after the game, usual place. Anyone's welcome, kids, anyone, come and have your say straight after the games, and anybody can get involved. They are getting very, very popular now. We had some great feedback from somebody who I'm not going to name, whose opinion is highly regarded from myself. So thank you very much for the kind words on the fan cams. But yeah, they're going really good. More the merrier. Anybody's welcome, like I say, adults, teenagers, kids. It's there for everybody who wants to just come on and have your say straight after the game. So excited, going to be a good one. And let's get them points and put us in a real good, comfortable place. And then we can bring Legia Warsaw back to Villa Park, turn them over. Nice trip in December, out the group, leave it for a bit, concentrate on the Premier League, and then up the road to Athens. So thanks, everybody. If you are new, subscribe to the channel. It all helps. Drop a like, comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.